Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toku Portal Podcast. I'm Ryan. With me is.
Decade.
The Little King.
And Vash EV.
And today we're talking about Kaitou Sentai LupinRanger vs Keisatsu Sentai PatoRanger, episode 33. So, at the station, Sakuya, surprisingly, doubts that the police can team up with the thieves consistently, even though it seems like he would be the one most open to it. But Hilltop and Jim agree because the thieves have no authority to protect the peace. They work outside the law. And Tsukasa wonders what their goal is in the first place. But then, again, Ganglar rampages. The thieves arrive first. They're able to handle his Cyclone collection piece ability. It's pretty much straight out of Kamen Rider Double. But its personal power turns them into kids. Lupin X arrives. The thieves turn into kids. Just go change into some clothes that's on a nearby market stand. The police arrive, and the Ganglar retreats. But Umika accidentally left her VS changer behind. Noelle volunteers to take it as evidence, but Tsukasa and Keiichiro see right through him. Keiichiro drags him along to find the Ganglar. The others head back to the station. The thieves decide that getting that VS changer back is their priority. And then we get the opening. Pretty crazy. Thoughts?
I love how you can just see the wheels in Noel's head turning, and you can feel the thought process going through his head as Keiichiro's dragging him back. He's just like, damn it, this freaking close. I know child actors are a bit hit or miss in Sentai. Personally, I'm always one to vouch for Kotaro, but he's neither here nor there, so. Fact is, I thought these kids did a great job. I mean, with what they were given, and yes, we know it's only for one episode, they were just so cute. And oh my god, Kyrie's, I died. He was so fucking adorable.
Yeah, these kid child actors were actually really good. They did an amazing job of acting like the thieves themselves. The parasol thing was weird and reminded me of Hurricaneger until, like, we got the explanation of, oh, we already knew what your piece was. It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And I do like that when they get de-aged, you actually see how much each one gets hit, and that those ones get aged younger. Like Kyrie got hit 3 times and he aged the youngest. Tuma only once and he's still like a teen. And I do like that they did the thing where their clothes don't change with them for no reason. Like, oh hey, their clothes are oversized now. That's actually kind of adorable. Uh, And oh, I love the look on Sakuya's face when Tsukasa calls Noelle out because Sakuya legitimately didn't even think of that. He's just that naive.
Like this was well done. Like King said, child actors are hit or miss. Kotaro for Q Ranger started out a miss, but he got better. But these three, just for what they were given, they did a fantastic job. The fact that their clothes didn't change, I think, was one of the few touches in this that was perfect. Because usually when this type of stuff, everything shrinks.
Or
So
like the
the
clothes
fact,
are just replaced straight up, like no explanation.
right, it's like for this, the only thing that really shrunk with them were the masks. Which I'm sure that's part of the whole nobody can decipher their identity with those masks things, because that was, I don't understand that magic. Um,
The mass
but
art
this,
collection piece.
they are.
I don't know,
That
but
may,
that would make the
I
most
mean,
sense.
because beyond that, it's bibbledy why nobody would get this.
Like
Um,
it's that's just gonna be my explanation for it.
but like overall, is like this was done fantastically. Like, and the fact that Umiko was the one who dropped her VS Changer, I think, makes sense out of the three of them to give this episode a plot. Because like I don't see it being Tuma or Kyrie to oops, I dropped it. I think the funniest thing about this though is just how lazy the thieves are. I'm sorry, they're lazy as shit. They literally changed one or two letters in their name or their
That.
To
new
be
identity.
fair,
Okay.
they're kids now. They're not exactly known
Umaka is
for originality.
Okay,
Okay.
but Umaka is literally they just put an F in front of her name.
You're calling them lazy, but it worked. It was as much effort as they needed to put in.
Right, I understand. I understand it worked, which is also a little pathetic on the side of the cops. Especially when it's pointed out that, hey, this guy's power turns people to kids, because that gets pointed out.
That's actually one of the genius parts of this episode. That gets pointed out to Keiichiro, who never ran into the kid thieves.
Right. That's literally the only reason why this plot works. Because he is literally the only one. If it had been pointed out to Tsukasa especially, she would have figured it out. Because literally they were the only ones around the area.
That, and she's had her suspicions beforehand, so piece together the name changes and such, and bing, bing, ding!
Right. It's just one of those things. Especially given everything that happens in this episode. This is like the most obvious shit. These cops are retarded. Just a little bit. In the grand scheme of things.
And that's why we love them.
Yep. So when we come back, we get the episode title. Number 33, We're the Kid Phantom Thief Club. So Toma approaches Sakuya and Tsukasa and says that they're basically a family and they got separated from their parents. He asks them for help. Tsukasa says that they'll just take them to the nearest police box, so obviously they've got bigger fish to fry. But Kairi stops her and calls her mom. Toma tells her that she looks just like their mother. Sakuya volunteers to help them just until Jim can find the Ganglar again. Tsukasa can't resist Kid Kairi's cute face. So
I'm not having much luck either.
Yeah. Sakuya takes the VS changer to their office. Toma heads to the restroom by himself, but obviously he's gonna go try to steal the gun back. Any thoughts before I continue?
Nice on the fly thinking. I'd buy the idea they're a family. Kid Kairi. I literally just said my piece 20 seconds ago. I don't care. My heart was melting. That kid did Kairi perfectly, I swear.
Totally. Like, the fact that I can see all of them doing these things just goes to show how well these child actors nailed the roles. And, like, the part that confuses me, though, is that this was supposed to be on-the-fly thinking as portrayed here, but then later Kogure knows about it, so I can only imagine that Tuma called him up at one point. But other than that, this scene was really good. And just, the child actors killed it.
Like, the conversation with Kogure is honestly the part of this I really want to see. Like, I'm wanting just like that little 5-minute little episode clip like they do for Zio to explain shit. I literally want it to be that conversation of explaining to Kogure what he needs to do later. Because that's fantastic. Also, I want an episode dedicated to explain what the fuck Kogure can do. Cause damn.
Seconded.
You need to disguise yourself as our parent, who looks like one of the cops. All right, the red or the green one? No, the pink one. You want me to what?
Like it's just strange, and like everything that the child thieves do in this episode is honestly it's freaking adorable. Kyrie, child Kyrie is like you said, it's just fucking adorable, and he knew that he was cute, which is why he did what he did to get Tsukasa to actually take them back to headquarters. Which again shows the level of intelligence that gets passed around, because really the only person who knew that was Umika from when they went to the amusement park. So it shows that they're sharing information and that Kyrie knew he could capitalize on it. So while they suck at the planning with names, at least they're good at what they do.
I just love like how shocked the other two become when Kyrie uses his adorableness to its full potential. Like Kyrie is the kind of person that would know how fucking cute he is and be able to take
I'm
advantage
surprised
of it.
Umika didn't use hers sooner.
Umika is still airheaded.
Yeah, but now it works to her advantage.
Yeah, but she's not gonna think of that.
Well, here's the problem with that is if Umika had used it, it would have only worked on Tsukuya. Because let's face it,
So I'm
that's who she would have tried it on.
I am glad that at no point in this episode Sakuya looks at Kid Umika and goes, "You're pretty cute," because that would have been bad.
That would have been exceptionally creepy.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they just avoid that by just having him just smile at the children.
One
But
more mark avoided for the cops. Good on you.
But I mean, using logic on it, Umiko would have used her cuteness on Tsukuya because that makes the most sense. Same way Kyrie did with uh, Tsukasa. The problem with that plan would be the fact that Tsukasa would override Tsukuya, just like she did with the VS changer.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, Hilltop just straight up leaves the VS changer on the table while he heads to a meeting. Toma enters, and when he gets spotted, he tells Jim that he just got lost. Hilltop enters again because he forgot something. We're going to get a commercial break. When we come back, Keiichiro asks Noel if his goal is the same as the thieves. And Noel kind of just dodges the question.
I want to make a quick comment on Hilltop's
Sure.
reaction to seeing Kid Tuma in the room, because his face is just the perfect expression of, "You're not supposed to be here."
Yet another reason why I like Hilltop.
Like for me, my brain went exactly to that, and then my brain went, he kind of recognizes him. Because that pause just seemed that perfect point to go. He may know more than he's letting on, because let's face it, he's known more than he's letting on, in my opinion, since the start of this. Which is part of the reason why there's theories about him being Kogure, which I'm pretty sure 100% is wrong.
Oh, I would not even entertain the idea.
Working with Kogure, however, that's not.
Hilltop is Lupin.
I didn't go that far, but okay.
Well, we'll wait until the cops get a hold of the next Lupin collection to see how he reacts for that one.
So, yeah, the global police bring Kairi and Umika into their office as well. Earlier, Hilltop locked the VS changer in his desk drawer. So Kairi has to distract Tsukasa with his charms, adorableness, and Umika and Toma pretend to play hide and seek. Umika uses her vehicle to open Hilltop's drawer and steal the VS changer. And then she straight up just runs outside with it. Sakuya freaks out and chases after her. Toma kicks him and takes the changer. Then the gang life starts rampaging. We actually get a pretty cool henshin and roll call with Ichigo and Patoran X. Just those two. So it's pretty awesome. Uh, Outside, the Red Thief arrives and steals the VS changer. Tsukasa and Sakuya take off to deal with the gang lord, leaving Jim in charge. The second they leave, a woman who looks exactly like Tsukasa arrives and says she's the kid's mother. Jim is shocked. That was a lot of fun. What did you guys think?
Oh, I had way too much fun with that. I've already discussed the Kyrie cuteness factor, which raised itself again after that. Umika and Toma just booking it through the precinct with the changer was downright hilarious. I will get to the red Kaitou thing in a little bit, but of course, the freaking mom. That was so friggin' perfect. I loved it. And I love that they went straight forward with it. It's like when they played on Tsukasa, it's like, oh, maybe she just looks a bit like her with the long hair and everything. No, she's legit her copy. I love that they went through with that.
Okay, first off, the using the save opening tools to open the lock. At first I was like, will that actually work? But then I realized, yeah, these are magic tools meant to open locks. It makes sense that they work. When the other Kyrie showed up, I was super confused because first off, you're not Kyrie, he's a kid. And then second, this isn't Kyrie because he doesn't act anything like Kyrie. And it didn't occur to me that it was Kogure until the mother showed up and I was like, oh wait, this is Kogure, isn't it? The roll call was really good. I kind of wish we could get a few more mixed roll calls just to see how they go.
This is well done. I just have a slight issue with one aspect of this. The fact that once they took off with the VS changer, I feel that they should have had some inkling that something was up. Because seriously, there's no reason for them to be after it, or to grab it, or play with it, or whatever. Even if it was ooh look, I found something cool in the desk.
Well, they come up with that explanation of, oh, we think the police are really cool and we wanted to be like you. That's why we took it.
Right, but even that's still kind of, especially to me, that's more suspect, seen as they, for lack of a better term, attacked Sakuya to keep him from catching them.
Okay, I
mean,
forgot
because
to
Tuma
mention.
straight up kneed his ass in the stomach.
I forgot to mention that Tuma kneeing Tsukasa in the crotch to get him to keep him away from the gun was probably the highlight of this entire episode, which had a ton of highlights in it.
If I'm gonna be honest, I forgot about that till now.
I love that Umika trips up and drops it, but then Tuma just steals the show with that fucking, unhesitant. Yeah, no, you're not getting that.
I read something involving, because right before they transform and all that, while they're still looking out for the monster, Noelle and Keiichiro kind of have a moment where Keiichiro's trying to figure out, what's going on with the thieves and all that, why they're doing what they're doing. And he points out that or Noel points out that he doesn't know what will happen when the Lupin collection is assembled, which to me makes Kogure look shady as fuck, considering the fact that he specifically told them this will bring your everybody back to life.
But
But nobody knows what'll happen.
nobody knows how, like, what'll exactly happen. Like, are they just going to appear before them, or are the collection pieces going to combine into something? Like, how do they work?
And more
Or
What
importantly,
are the rules
whatever
here?
happened is permanent for both our side or theirs.
right,
Like,
or is it
actually, what are the rules here? I
you
feel
know? It's like,
Noel is a little justified.
right, and he's justified. It's like, but it's one of that whole. It could also go the Go Kaiju route of here's this thing you want, but if you take it, it'll destroy the world. It can go that route too. To force them to, for lack of a better term, move on, rather than being selfish. You know, save everybody rather than a few. But the fact that they've just been basically blindly following somebody who's told them, yes, this is what's going to happen, and but not the particulars of it. I think that's really, really shady.
I mean, I've had no doubts that Koguri is going to betray them at some point.
Oh, I'm not having any doubts. I will be amazed if it doesn't happen.
Yeah, if Koguri does not turn out to be Gosh, or just evil in general, I will be shocked. But at the same time, I kind of want him to not be Gosh, because that would mean that these Mission Impossible disguises are real, and not just the Ganglar human magic.
Like I kind of want it to be real, but I want him to be like the reason that the collection pieces came up missing in the first place. Like if they go the route that he's not a bad guy, he just made a giant ass mistake. I want there to be some explanation for basically why Goody doesn't like him.
honestly, I would totally buy that Gosh sneaks her way into Lupin's trust as his butler, uh, raids, like, hosts the raids for the collection pieces, like, hey, check out what I found. And then Dogranio ruins it by, like, passing them out to every gangler, like, yeah, go have fun. And now she's just trying to get them back.
Basically, have it one of those. Oh shit! My boss fucked me over.
But, like, she
We
wasn't going
we
to
had
at first because, oh, hey, that's what Dogranio wants, and that's fine. But, oh, hey, he's retiring? How dare any of these fools think they can hold a candle to him? And then hire Zomigo to kill, like, their friends so that they'll be like, alright, we'll beat these for you.
That's
like
some
it,
American stuff right there.
speaking of Kogure, is like as soon as adult Kyrie showed up and was failing at what he should have been doing naturally, like the whole landing and taking off with the little grappling hook or whatever, and seeing him fall through the sky. As soon as that happened, I'm like, well, that's Kogure. Which is funny considering the fact that this is a man who can appear out of nowhere. But apparently sucks at doing thief stuff.
Well, why do you think he had to hire people to do it?
But yeah, it's like that to me. That was a little odd that he
Possibly
failed.
get their loved ones rigged to be killed to make it happen.
Like it was one of those, like, I wanted this. I cannot talk right now. It's like it threw me off because I expected him to be better at portraying a thief than he was.
I love that he sucks at it, because that just adds to his character, which has very little.
Like I think it's hilarious. It's like, and to me the best part is when he takes off the disguise later, because that was just funny, and I want to know how it works.
I don't.
Yep. I think we saw enough of that for one day. So,
How about 1 decade?
yeah, that too.
No pun intended.
Yep.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Oh.
Gio's got enough of time jokes. I don't need to add any more.
Yeah. So, the Ganglar pins down the others until Nigo and Sango arrive. Lupin X steals the collection piece, and the Ganglar is beaten. Everyone who turned into a kid returns to normal. At Jurere, Tsukasa, air quotes, gives the thieves VS Changer. Of course, like we already said, it was Kogure in disguise, as both the Red Thief and Tsukasa. And he removes the disguise, but he keeps the luscious wig on his head. Pretty great. So Gosh revives the Ganglar, Pato and Eberex defeated, nothing special. But we do get a new PatoRanger insert song, which is always nice. So Sakuya and Tsukasa apologize for losing the VS Changer. Hilltop and Jim feel guilty as well, although they were played pretty hard. Uh, Keiichiro is actually just happy that the lost kids were reunited with their parents. He's definitely softened up on the thieves.
I think
So I could tell.
the only
So
one
I could
who
totally
didn't get played this episode was Kogure. I think he's the only one that walked away pretty happy with how things turned out.
And Noel, technically.
No, because like when he tried to slyly pick up the changer again, it was taken away from him.
Well, I mean, he got another piece, so...
Nah, but like Kogure's the only one that like everything went good for him.
This
Fair
whole
enough.
episode exists because Noel failed.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, Keiichiro. I could totally see Keiichiro like earlier in the series, just cussing out Sakuya for letting the thieves get their VS Changer back. But he's kind of starting to see the bigger picture now.
Thank
So,
God.
yeah. Noel suggests that they go to Jurere, and he kind of just has a fantasy of them being treated to a feast for a reason that he can't even explain. Tsukasa just doubts it, and they forget about that plan. Episode end. Not the greatest ending we've had, but it was still a pretty fun episode. Thoughts?
Noel, you know I love you, dude. But the thieves are nice. They ain't that nice. And, I mean, not much else to say about that. It was an okay ending for what it was. And like Decade said, I am also noticing the changes Keiichiro's making. He's not so narrow-minded, maybe still as hot-headed, but he doesn't show it as much now, thankfully. So, I mean, take the victories where you find them, right?
I'd say Keiichiro is the most developed character on the show. Uh, with Kogure like stroking his own wig at the end, that was a pretty neat gag. But what was better was the thieves' reaction to it behind him, as the Kairi is trying not to laugh. Umika is like looking super awkward. Honestly, like whether or not Kogure turns out to be a Ganglar, this scene will always be hilarious. Uh, the whole monster fight itself just kind of felt like filler in the episode. Like it was unnecessary, except for the fact that like, hey, we need to grab another collection piece. But the mech fight, despite that, was actually really good. I enjoyed it this time around. With the whole ending sequence, though, like I kept expecting something to come of it with Noel's like speech there, and nothing did, and now I'm just confused. Did they need to kill the last 2 minutes of the episode and like get the thieves in there somehow? The actual ones.
I enjoyed all of this. Seeing Kogure stroking that wig was hilarious and disturbing all at the same time. And then, like, seeing him when he somehow the mask was attached to the rest of the outfit, like his entire body expand when he took the disguise off, I thought was hilarious. Imagine the money that people could make if they found a way to make that technology real. Um, but it was this entire episode was done well, and it's showing strides for character development. Like everybody says, like Keijiro is very, very well developed character, and Kairi is too. I'm seeing how they've both started breaching that we should be working together type of mentality. And I also do like the fact that they broached that subject in the episode of why won't you work with thieves? And it's not a matter of because they're criminals, and that wasn't necessarily the point of it. The point of it was if we did, we'd lose the trust of the public. You know, we'd lose their faith in us. It's like, and that's actually accurate and fair assessment to decide not to, work with the thieves. And I like the fact that they took the time to address that rather than just let it be, dismissed of why they don't like the thieves.
So let's talk about the next episode preview for a bit here, because King brought something up about it earlier. You want to take it away, King?
Oh, cool! My first part, yay! So, for anybody who's seen the preview for next week, it's a split-second moment, but if you catch it, there is a moment with Noelle and Umika in their thief outfits. Umika doesn't have her mask. Noelle just looks fine, happy to see everybody, whoever he's looking at. Umika looks freaked out. And the scene right before it is Keiichiro dumbfounded.
In fact,
Can anybody see where I'm going with this? Sorry.
I will pull up the images for the people here to look at. Sorry, audience, I can't do that for you.
Well, after she brought that up, I went ahead and looked it up myself, and it definitely looks like something happening. I mean, we've had the thieves in their outfits without the masks before, so it could just be, I don't know, maybe they're looking at the mech fight or something.
Yeah, it could be like one of those things where they splice two unrelated scenes together to make it look like something that it isn't.
They have been doing that lately, but then again, episode 34. Who knows?
Though the thing that I find weird about if this is the episode where one of the thieves start to be revealed is that I would expect that to be what the next episode preview is about.
But Lupat is known for having underlying things. They've had previews that look like filler episodes only for it to be really good plot episodes, and vice versa. But, point standing, Lupat's good at making something seem like one thing when it's an entirely different thing altogether.
Oh, I just noticed something.
That scene could also be at the very, very end of the episode.
Okay.
That's true, yeah.
I just hit play from where I took those pictures, and Umika is actually opening her mouth for a smile. Everyone is looking at Lupin Magnum.
Ah, damn it!
Now, with that being said, Kairi is holding it without his mask either.
So Hope is still alive?
Hope is still alive.
I'll take it.
This is the episode where the thieves get exposed.
I will take it.
And that would explain Noel's face as well, because he's interested in the collection piece.
I'm so sorry. And for those of you who are interested, the preview itself is up on YouTube, so if you're listening to us, odds are you'll be able to see that too.
It actually looks fairly interesting too. I see the Lupin Magnum being the power-up item.
Honestly, like, this is how you do a red-only power-up. You give him a new toy and you call it good. You don't need anything flashy or garish. And if you're going to do something flashy and garish, fine. You get one Kaitou Ranger.
Oh, here we go.
Duosier.
That one I'll give you credit
Probably
for.
even in Ninja 2. How many power-ups did
No, not
Takaharu have?
probably. That one was hell.
Oh god.
Do not even get me started on Tokuger.
I actually did like the ninja one though. I have to admit.
Actually,
Only.
Red and Tokuger didn't have his own power-up. They all shared
Not to the very end.
Oh yeah,
The hyper red.
Yeah, that like rainbow red one though, but that I don't count that.
Fine. Okay, does Kyoryuger have a decent one then?
Yeah, he gets like a red and white outfit design. It's a little weird, but it's the only one that he gets. So again, you
I
get
still
one.
love Carnival to this day.
Oh yeah, Carnival.
Yeah.
Like I have no problem with them doing like the red only power ups and whatnot. It's like, but you don't need to have a ton of them.
Yeah, that's basically my point.
Especially, like, I'm okay with having in a normal size Sentai, you know, 1 or 2 red only power ups. I can live with that. I can deal with that. That's where I had the problem with in Kyuranger was you had 12 fuckers that you could have given a power up to, and you gave them all to Lucky.
And it didn't occur to you until 4 episodes near the end of the damn series to think, oh, we can spread these around.
In Pegason's defense, the thing broke the one episode they used it, and it took them that long to make a new one.
And the Hikari Kitama?
That's inexcusable.
There you go.
Like I'm okay with the Orion part. To me, I think it would have been easier just to make a new Ranger, considering the fact that 2 reds to begin with. But, you know, whatever. Like, with this, I'm okay with this being red only, because, hey, you can make it to where it's both reds. Like, they sit there and just feel it. Like, even if this isn't the, oh my god, we figured out who you are episode, they can literally be a confiscate and steal back kind of thing, where it's back and forth. Or it can just be a Goody thing.
Well, I was about to say, Goody has basically become Keiichiro's power-up, but it also counts as a full team power-up since it splices them together.
Right.
On the thief side of things, all of the new collection pieces they get go to Kairi first, but then, like, he passes them off to the others. Tuma now uses Cyclone. Umika now uses Blade and Scissors. Tuma's probably going to start using magic now.
Hell, he gave magic to Keiichiro.
Keiichiro gave it
But
back.
he gave it back.
I mean, they got it back, but I mean, it was literally in the team up. So, the fact that it's not relying solely on the reds...
Kairi is spreading the love around. He's allowed to keep this one.
Right. And in the case of Keiichiro, Goody's literally going, nope, I'm going to make this a team thing.
Well, if they just turn it the other way... I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Right, but, you know, I want to see that be a thing. I kind of do now that... Because, like, I've thought about it, like, but it's never stuck with me.
3 Keiichiros.
Oh god, no! 3 Kairis is enough!
I want him to get ready to use it, have the monster or somebody bump him and he flips it the other way and pulls the trigger.
That's not how it works!
I'm still looking
That
forward
is how that works.
to seeing the movie where the thieves do the cop one where they splice together.
Okay, if that does happen though, then that bump would have to be hard enough for the entire gun to flip.
Okay, think about like this kind of show that you watch and all of like the suspension of disbelief you have to have.
There's literally robots fighting giant monsters with laser beams. But I mean, like even so, it's like they've shown that they're very easy to twist.
I mean, yes, but something as heavy as Goody.
Well, here's the other thing too that they've proven is they both can use the collection pieces.
That's true, yeah.
Each way, so Kyrie and them can use the police vehicles the same way.
Like, I still remember that chase scene with Cyclone and Bike where it was swapped and they got to drive each other's style. And that was a really cool scene.
Right, and then here lately he's been using Splash as a power-up. So they can literally use each other's things, so the idea that their guns can flip both ways makes sense. Because to me it seems very unlikely that they made 3 guns different than 3 other guns.
Okay, that's fair.
But like even if this becomes like an actual like suit power up, I'm okay with this. I just want it to look good. Like I wanted it to be more suit than the scissors and blade power up. But I don't want it to be retarded and garish. Like don't put a train on their shoulders.
Honestly, with the style of the show, I'd be fine if it's just the gun and little more than that. Like, because that just fits in with the style of the thieves. But if we're gonna get a new suit, make it a good one.
Right. It's like this show has shown very, very good decision making. 90% of the time, gender swapping, not so much.
Aerobics.
That was creepy.
Sakuya's actor was so into it.
That was creepy as fuck, but it was hilarious. So
I only said it to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
But because of that, I count it as a good decision.
To go back to red-only power-ups in Zyuohger, what really bothers me is that he gets the gorilla power-up, which is like, okay, so this is thematically appropriate because humans and primates are close to each other. Except the suit looks terrible. And then he gets the whale power-up, and the whale power-up is the best suit out of all of them, and it's his. But it's his. It should have been purple and its own character.
The problem
was what you cut out there.
Especially with Condor being canon, apparently.
My
this has been fun.
Well, the biggest issue with Gorilla, in my opinion, like some dumped packing peanuts in his suit.
Probably.
It appearance-wise, to me, that was the laziest fucking decision I've seen in Sentai.
No.
I have seen. That I have seen.
Do you remember the final fight where they tried splicing the 3 outfits together?
Oh wait, yeah, no,
that was the laziest thing you've seen in Sentai.
Oh, yeah, don't remind me.
But hey, plus side, it's the same fucking show. And contains part of the what I considered lazy. But I want to see a power up for, especially if this is going to be a thief only power up, I want something that looks sleek and badass. Which, if it's just the gun, it already looks badass just from what little glimpses you caught of it in the episode.
In fact, let's see. When he's charging up the gun in the preview, he still has his normal outfit.
Maybe it's a build-up sort of thing?
It could be. It could be like it has to be used a certain way. Like, he's just using it as a gun right now, but if he activates it...
Then all the bad guys are screwed.
Oh. I fucking called it in the preview. Umika is using Splash and Tuma is using Magic.
Well, there you go.
I said, hey, Tuma will probably use Magic now. There you go. Alright, I think we've said everything we want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow for more Kamen Rider ZO. And next week for more LupinRanger vs. PatoRanger. Seems like it's going to be a really interesting episode. See you next time.
Thanks for listening.
Adieu, and later, taters.
See you guys later. Thank you for listening.